welcome to the rap lab. Welcome to the rap lab. Welcome to the rap lab.
Is going on in hip hop right now. Number one, and the first thing we got to talk about is it transcends hip hop. It's not even just about hip hop anymore. It's mainstream news. Well, last week, Eric Holder got found. Not our Eric, but Eric Holder got found guilty of first degree murder of Nipsey Hussle, which, in my opinion, I felt it didn't even need a trial. But before I get into my heavy loaded opinion, QG, talk to us real quick.
Well, just as you said, a 32-year-old man by the name of Eric Holder, he was found guilty this past Wednesday, actually, last week, of the first degree murder of the shooting and the killing of Nipsey Hussle that took place back in 2019. This whole case, it was just so many things that was just going on with it. And like you said, there was no need for a trial. It really wasn't. And then you had issues with people not coming in to testify. You had witnesses, one of them by the name of Brianna Nicholson. She said that she had no idea that her friend Eric Holder knew Nipsey Hussle. And apparently she was the one in the car waiting in the alley when Eric got out to confront Nip. And then when he shot Nip, he ran and he got in the car and she drove off. And it's crazy how Eric Holder pleaded not guilty to the first degree murder and the two counts of first degree attempted murder because there were two bystanders who were right there. They got hit by the gunfire as well. So, I want to give everybody a chance to really speak on it. I don't want to go into too much details, but, we'll go around. This is just the basis of it. Rev, what do you think about all this? Because this trial was going on for a while, and to finally have it wrapped up and Eric Holder being found guilty, what do you think about that?
Well, kudos to those who definitely made the right decision. It only took them 2 days and less than an hour on the second day to find this man guilty. And big up to street justice too. Well, jail justice, because Mr. Holder got a dose of that while he was locked up. And to be honest with y'all, I don't even see this man surviving in wherever it is that they're gonna bring him to. Initially, these guys were both Crips, and it was said that Eric Holder was cooperating with the police as far as snitching on somebody, and Nipsey called him out on it. The word snitch isn't taken lightly in that realm. If you're amongst gangs or, even in the streets, it's just not something that gets tossed around, and, you can't take that lightly. It's a very, very bad title. So he was pretty upset about it, and it was premeditated. Came and shot Nipsey, actually hit two other people as well. It's just sad because he was actually an acquaintance of Nipsey, played him his music. I don't know if Nipsey was gonna, sign him or had any plans for him, but these guys did know each other, and that's a big reason why the comfortability of Eric Holder getting that close to Nipsey happened, because Nipsey didn't see it coming. It was said that his last words was "You got me" when after he got shot. I don't mean to be inhumane, but this motherfucker can rot, man. It's terrible. A lot of people are hurt behind this. Families, fans, people all over the world. Nipsey had a great impact, not only with his music, but being a philanthropist and his word. And it's just a shame, man.
Yeah, totally, man. And to add onto it, Candyman, I'm going to come to you next. The video footage that was shown in the courtroom, it contradicted Nicholson's testimony. Holder said he had gotten out of Nicholson's car, the young lady in question, and he ran over to Hustle immediately as they pulled into the parking lot. But the video footage shows Holder walking into the neighborhood burger place, and only minutes after he came out of there. And the video shows it. It shows that this man was walking to the place and he put a bag of chili fries while he was in the shopping center, and it was just calm. He wasn't agitated. He wasn't angry. He didn't just run out and shoot him. And like you said just now, that they knew each other. So for him to just walk up to Nips, it was like nothing, And it's just a real shame, what happened to Nip and his family. Our hearts go out. And you mentioned snitching. That's a big no no. That's a big no no in where we come from. And the grand jury transcript, you know, was spoken about, and it said that Nipsey was just telling them, "Yo, chill, no," and all that when all that was going on. So, Candyman, what's your take about all this and the verdict and all that went down?
So first off, and I may catch some heat for what I'm about to say, but I don't give a fuck. First off, Brianna Nicholson's a dumb bitch. I confidently believe that because first off, if you paid attention to the trial, she testifies that Holder loaded a gun in her car. Right. Matter of fact, let me start from the beginning. So first off, you can tell the murder is premeditated because he goes to Nip, talks to Nip. You look at the video, like nobody shows any signs of aggression, agitation, or whatever. Just a conversation. He goes, like you said, he gets his chili fries, and then he goes back in the car with Shorty and eats the fries. So that means that he had time to think about what he wanted to do because he ate a whole meal before he went and killed a man. Right? That's number one. Number
Mhm.
two, she's a dumb bitch because he loads the gun in her car. Right? Loads the gun in her car, and for what reason? And mind you, she said not only was this her friend, this was somebody she had dated.
Hmm.
And she said she had never known him to own guns. Whatever, right? All right, boom. But now he's loading a gun and tells you to pull around the back of the shopping center. What did you think he was possibly going to do? Then she says she hears gunshots and he comes running back in the car. She had no idea that he shot anybody. But you saw him load a gun in your car, told him that she said, and I quote, "You're not doing no drive by in my car." So if you hear gunshots and he comes running back up to your car, what did you think happened? What he just went and then played cowboy for 5 seconds? Like no. And then furthermore, she sees the report on the news, and this is why she should be charged. But I guess they gave her immunity because I don't even think her testimony was important because everything's on videotape. That's why I said there's no need for a trial. Everything's on tape. We know he did it. She goes and gets him a hotel room the next day. Like, are you kidding? After you knew what, and she said she saw her car driving away on a surveillance video on the news.
Yeah,
So I don't think she should have been given immunity. She should have been an accessory to murder since she drove the. Nobody could be that dumb, bro. If
I
you,
agree.
bro, if you and me was in the same car and I'm driving and I see you load a gun in my car and then you get out the car, I hear pow pow, and you come running back to the car, then obviously I know that you just did something.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
that's number one. And number two, uh, people in the hood, in the community, we got to do better because there were people who were spotted by the prosecution on that videotape, who were there, who saw things, and
One of the pallbearers, one of
yeah,
his
and they,
pallbearers, Evan McKenzie.
and they didn't want to testify. Now here's my thing, right? I can understand if you weren't there, but you have knowledge of it, and they ask you what do you know, and you don't wanna testify, whatever. Hood code, but this was something that you were proven to be there by surveillance tape. You watched everything go down, and this is not just any. Not to say that nobody is worth anything, but this is Nipsey Hussle we talking about, and I've said it on this show before. The hood don't love nobody, but this was a man who got rich and famous, who actually made it to be somebody in life. I mean, not to say that nobody's anybody in life, but he got rich and famous and did not leave the hood. Was putting money in the hood. He was giving people jobs. He invested into the community. He opened a marathon clothing store to give people who couldn't find jobs elsewhere because they had lengthy arrest records. He gave them jobs. This man was a man of the community, and somebody wrong. He was somebody that everybody loved, and he was a special human being. And somebody took him away from us.
Exactly.
wrongfully,
Exactly.
and you don't want to tell what you know when it was proven that you were there. At some point, we got to stop talking about, oh, it's snitching. It's not. It's not snitching. It's called doing the right thing. Like I said, if something happened between two people and you weren't there and you know about it, and the cops come asking you questions, that's different. But you were there, and this is supposed to be your friend.
Evan was right there, standing right with Nip when that murder took place, and it was to a point where the judge was, they were sending out subpoena after subpoena after subpoena, and he just kept ignoring it. And then eventually there was a bench warrant sent out for Evan McKenzie. So it's like, what the hell? I mean, that was your friend. You were one of his pallbearers at the funeral. And this is out in broad daylight. It's like it's just sickening. And you mentioned it earlier, all the things that Nipsey did for people in the community. He did so much, especially for young talent. And he kept dropping jewels and dropping gems. Till this day, when you look at Nip's interviews, he still gives you something. And it just it just trips me out, and to add to that, there was a phone call that Nicholson got, and you can hear somebody tell her, "You had Nipsey Hussle killed," and then she hung up the phone. So people knew things. People said something, and it's like all of this evidence, all these people, and it was said right then and there, Rev, like you mentioned, that everybody acknowledged, even the defense, they acknowledged that Holder shot Nipsey Hussle.